صدورهم من غل تجري من تحتهم الأنهار وقالوا الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله لقد جاءت رسل ربنا بالحق ونودوا أن تلكم الجنة أورثتموها بما كنتم تعملون. ونادى أصحاب الجنة أصحاب النار أن قد وجدنا ما وعدنا ربنا حقا فهل وجدتم على ربكم حقا فأذن مؤذن بينهم اللعنة الله على الظالمين الذين يصدون الله ويبغونها عوجا وهم بالآخرة كافرون وبينهما حجاب وعلى الأعراف رجال يعرفون كلا بسيماهم ونادوا أصحاب الجنة أن سلام عليكم لم يدخلوها وهم يطمعون وإذا صرفت أبصارهم تلقى النار قالوا ربنا تجعلنا مع القوم الظالمين ونادى أصحاب الأعراف رجالا يعرفونهم بسيماهم قالوا ما أغنى عنكم أهؤلاء الذين أقسمتم لا ينالهم الله برحمة ادخلوا الجنة لا خوف عليكم ولا أنتم تحزنون ونادى أصحاب النار أصحاب الجنة أن أفيضوا علينا من الماء يوم ما رزقكم الله قالوا إن الله حرمهما على الكافرين الذين اتخذوا دينهم لهوا
الذين اتخذوا دينهم لهوا ولعبا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا
لهوا ولعبا وغرتهم الحياة الدنيا فاليوم ننساهم كما نسوا لقاء يومهم هذا وما كانوا بآياتنا يجحدون.
So, Alhamdulillah, that was a wonderful recitation from Hafiza Malama Zara, and may Allah Ta'ala continue to bless you. Inshallah, we are going to continue. We are sorry for the delay. The network continued to misbehave, but inshallah, this is going to be the 5th lesson, and this is going to be the 3rd week as we may know. So we are going to continue from where we stopped. I think we have reached almost case 35 or 34. So we are going to continue from that place. Uh, so we are going to continue from case 34. Okay, as you can see, okay, I think it's case 32. We have rulings pertaining to the wife of the missing or absent husband. So now in Nigeria that we have the issue of kidnapping, this is going to help a lot because this is going to discuss about the issue of a missing a missing husband or the husband who is absent, whereby we don't know his whereabouts. So we have right to present case if your husband has been absent for a prolonged period and his whereabouts or status are unknown, the wife has the right to present her case to the judge. That is first. Second, granting of waiting period. Upon receiving her case, the judge grants her a waiting period of 4 years. This period allows for the search of determination of the husband's fate. So you can see this about before. We don't have cell phones. We don't have whereby husband. So this 4 years is expected that first year they are going to check within the east, the entire east, if his whereabouts to be found. The next year west, the next year north and south for each for the period of 1 year. So if his whereabouts cannot be found, then we have to take another possible measures in his case. So this is why 4 years is being granted here. Then third is that husband locations becomes known. If the husband's location is found, then the judge contacts him with the following option: that hey, you that you went and left your wife, you should either return to your wife or you relocate her to be with him. Because you know some of the husbands, when they find themselves in a situation whereby they cannot take care of the wife anymore, they run away from the wife and they leave her. They just run away. So if the judge finds that he is going to send him a letter that he should please come back, if he is not coming back, then he should relocate his wife with him. He should take her and go with her. He cannot go and leave her like that. So this is the second option that he has. And the third option is if he is not relocating with the wife, then he should issue a divorce to her that says, Madam, maybe I cannot continue staying with you because I don't have the capacity to continue taking care of you. So please, the judge will ask him to divorce her. So if the husband is not found, the judge instructs that is the idda of a widow. After completing this idda, then she is free to remarry. So if the husband cannot be found, then she is going to observe a waiting period for the widow, which is 4 months, 10 days, and after that, she can continue searching for a husband and she can finally get married. So, uh, uh, number four, we have husband returns after Idda and before the marriage. You can see here it's a problem because the husband cannot be found. She reported to the court of law, and the judge uh, commanded her to take her mourning period for a widow, and she's now done with her 4 months, 10 days. And immediately after she was done, then got remarried. She married to another husband. So In the mid of this case, then the husband comes back again. The husband comes back. Okay, here before she remarries, the husband comes back. If the husband comes back before she remarries, then the marriage is now intact. But in the situation whereby the husband is back and she has already married to another person, so this first husband does not have any chance. He does not have any chance on her. Since she were not around when she got married, he was not around, and the judge has asked the wife to take a mourning period. Then now he don't have any chance. This wife has already gotten married, and that's all. So the ruling applies not because of the new marriage contract, but due to the consummation of the new marriage. Had it been when the husband was back, uh, uh, the marriage was not consummated, then the second marriage is going to be voided, and that's all. So. But now that the marriage is consummated, the first husband have to exercise patience and have to go and search for another wife. So it is not her fault, please. So divorce by judgment, which is talaq hukmi, after the consummation of her second marriage, a judicial divorce, talaq hukmi, is going to be issued. That is an automatic divorce from the husband, even though the husband is not around. Then the divorce is going to be issued. So the dowry entitlement of the wife of a missing husband. If a missing husband has consummated the marriage before he got missing, the wife is entitled to her full dowry. Dama, when we are talking about dowry, we are talking about consummation. If there is consummation, then there is full dowry. If it is what's not consummated, then she is entitled to half of the dowry, which these are part of the rulings that you may have known them from our previous classes. Okay, now the husband's death, it was confirmed to the wife that the husband is dead. So now, even with consummation or without consummation, the wife is entitled to full dowry because of the husband's death, and she's going to inherit from him. So now, how can we confirm a husband's death? We confirm a husband's death through two cases. The first one is when the husband is confirmed dead. Okay, now that he is confirmed dead, the judge is going to confirm this and going to make necessary provisions for the wife. And the second case is a period that makes his survival unlikely has already passed. Maybe he was 50-year old, and now that he left the house, he spent over 20 years, his whereabouts is not found. Then now we are expecting that he is 70 years of age or 80. Then the court of law is going to make a judgment that, hey, look, this your husband is his whereabouts cannot be found. So please, you can take your mourning period, and after 4 months, 10 days, you are free to remarry. So we have special cases for the prisoners of war and lost in battle. The judge used his discretion when dealing with cases involving prisoners of war or those meeting in battle. There is no waiting period in such cases, and the judge may act promptly based on available information. So these are part of the things we need to know. And we are going to enter book 2, which is the book of or the chapter of divorce, which is talaq. We may know the definition from the classes we have been doing and the questions we have been sending through the group, which refers to dissolution of the marriage contract by the husband, or in specific cases through judicial intervention or mutual agreement. So this is the definition of talaq. And this talaq is known in Islam, even though the Prophet ﷺ is saying the most detestable of permissible acts of Allah is divorce, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not want divorce. But there is no any solution. But in some kind of marriages, divorce has to be issued. So this is a little about divorce. So in terms of divorce, we have different forms of divorce in Islamic law, with each type involving specific procedures and regulation. The first one we are going to treat is talaq sunni, which is the divorce of sunnah, which we are expecting that everyone who is trying to issue a divorce, then he should issue a divorce which is a sunnah divorce, because we have other kind of divorce that are not sunnah and that are not accepted. But if, however, this kind of divorce are issued, then it's going to be binding. So talaq sunni is the prescribed method of divorce where the husband pronounces one talaq, that is one divorce, during a time when the wife is not menstruating. That is one. If you want to issue a divorce, then ensure that your wife is not in her menstrual cycle. That is one. Second, no sexual relation have taken place since her last period. After her last period, there is no sexual relation, because always we are trying to like understand whether the wife is having is pregnant or not. So if she menstruates and no sexual relation takes place, then you know that there is no any provision of her having a pregnancy. But if there is sexual relation, in that sexual relation, she must may have taken pregnant, have been become pregnant. So we don't want that to be issued without the knowledge of the husband. So and after pronouncing talaq, the wife enters the waiting period, which is the iddah, during which resuming in the marriage is still possible. So in any form, you can say that, look, my wife, this is so things that you are doing to me, which I'm not enjoying, but now I have found my peace, and you can come back. So, example of this kind of marriage is this: a husband says to his wife that I divorce you during her period of purity and during which he didn't approach her sexually, allowing for reconciliation. So this is part of the divorce we call talaq sunni, which are the kind of divorce that are needed to be issued in Islam. So the second divorce is talaq al-bid'i, which is innovated divorce, any form of divorce which the condition of talaq al-sunni are not followed, such as divorcing the wife during the menstruation or pronouncing multiple divorce at once. Although it is valid, but it is discouraged. For instance, a man issues three divorces at once, says, I divorce you three times. If he says, I divorce you three times, or I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you, this is going to be considered final divorce in Islamic school. So let not someone go and issue three divorce in one statement, or say that I divorce you three times, or say that I divorce you and divorce you and I divorce you, and trying to start looking for other fatwas that they said that if one issued three divorce, it can be taken back to one. No, it cannot please. So when you issue three divorce to your wife, we don't care. Did you issue those three divorce at once, or did you say, I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you, or I divorce you three times? We don't care. Either of this, then your wife is divorced three times and you cannot take her back. So please, let's take care of this. The third one, we have whole, that is divorce initiated by the wife, in the situation whereby the wife feel like, see, I cannot continue staying with you because of the kind of things that you are doing, and our marital relation is not going well. So please, I cannot continue sitting with you. Then she can initiate the divorce, in the sense that she is going to give him something, which if he, however, accept anything she gives him, we don't care. Did she give him his dowry back? Did she gives him 10 naira, 20 naira, $1? Did she gives him a bottle of seaway as the compensation of his divorce? We don't care. Anything she gives him, even if it is alcohol that she gave him, even though that alcohol is not permissible, but that issue or divorce is binding. So she is no more his wife anymore. So whenever a husband accepts any kind of divorce, I mean anything, as a compensation for his divorce, then that divorce is binding and he don't have any chance on this wife. So please, let's take care of this. As you can see in the example, a wife feels that she can no longer continue the marriage due to personal differences and offer to return her mahar, that is a dowry, to her husband. It must not necessarily be mahar in exchange for a divorce. So whenever he accepts any of this, then the divorce is binding. So, but before the divorce, there are like gradual process of divorce which are clearly stated in the Quran. The Quran advises a step-by-step process to resolve marital conflict between resorting to divorce. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ شِقَاقَ بَيْنِهِمَا فَبَعَثُوا حَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهِ وَحَكَمًا مِنْ أَهْلِهَا إِنْ يُرِيدَا إِصْلَاحًا يُوَفِّقِ اللَّهُ بَيْنَهُمَا. In Surah An-Nisa, that is chapter 4, verse 35, that if you fear dissension between the two, send an arbitrator from his people and an arbitrator from her people. If they both desire reconciliation, Allah will cause in between them. Indeed, Allah is ever knowing and acquainted. So, like if the both the spouses are not enjoying the stay of the marriage, then there should be a committee which are going to try to make things become easier and make things work. So after this, if still things refuse to continue in the better ways, then the best thing for them is to part ways, to parted ways. Then everyone should take his leave. So if a couple is facing difficulties in their marriage, arbitration from trusted family members to resolve their differences before considering divorce. However, this is going to promote communication and avoid hasty decisions. Okay, now we have the waiting period. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has prescribed the waiting period. The divorced women should keep themselves waiting for 3 periods. That is الطلاق مرتان والذين يطلقون and it is not lawful ولا يحل لهن أن يكتمن ما خلق الله في أرحامهن إن كنتن يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر وبؤولتهن أحق بردهن في ذلك إن أرادوا إصلاحا يوفق الله بينهما. So that waiting period that they are doing is for the husband to maybe have the intention or feel like I don't want to lose this kind of my wife, so I have to reconcile with her so that things can move well. So if in that period he feels like he wants to reconcile and come to take her back, then fine. But in the process whereby he feels like no, I cannot continue staying with this wife, then fine, he can send her away, and that is the final. So as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded the husbands to deal with their wives fairly and justly during and after the process of divorce, retain them with kindness or release them with good treatment. فَطَلِّقُوهُنَّ أَوْ سَرِحُوهُنَّ as it was said in the verse of the Quran that you should divorce them with kindness. Let it not be harsh. Let it not be with slap, with beating, or all such kind of insult. It should be in the best way that they can part ways from each other. So we also have case 33, which is the divorce of slave. As we may know, you can also divorce a slave as far as you got married to him. So we have divorce before consummation. If a husband divorces his wife before the marriage is consummated, even with a single pronouncement, the separation is considered final. That is binding. So similar to Khul, because if a wife initiated a divorce, that divorce, whether the marriage is consummated or not, then is going to be considered final. So and you issued a one divorce for her, so we call it talaq al-ba'in. You cannot say that you reconcile with her, that you are taking her back again, but that divorce is final. She is going to leave. If you want to love her again, you want to marry her again, you have to seek for her hands, pay for the dowry, get the witness, and she is going to come and not to be anymore. So this is that. So case 35, we have revocable divorce, which we call talaq al-raj'i. It occurs when the marriage is consummated and when a husband divorces his wife below the maximum divorce limit without any compensation. During this period, the wife must observe a waiting period, and the husband has the right to take her back without a new marriage contract, provided the waiting period has not ended. So this is very simple and straightforward. What we are saying in Talaq al-Raj'i is that you issued a divorce that has not reached three, you issued one divorce or two divorces, it's still talaq al-raj'i. Whenever you are willing to take her back, you can take her back through statement, or you can take her back through any marital kind of affairs. So whenever you take her back, she don't have any right to say that she is not coming back. She don't have that right. So, but in this case, we have dispute over completion of the waiting period in talaq al-raj'i. Because here Aisha and her husband, Umar, went through a revocable divorce, that is talaq al-raj'i. After some time, Aisha claims that she has completed her waiting period, that is the iddah, by experiencing three menstrual cycles since the divorce. You know, when we are talking about iddah, the waiting period, it is not like directly 3 months. No, it is not 3 months, but three menstrual cycles. So a woman can have three menstrual cycles, maybe in 2 months, 10 days. It is very possible. So in the situation whereby maybe the husband is trying to say that I have to deal with this, my wife, I have to like make her get afraid and any kind of things, that I'm not going to take her back until when her third menstrual cycle is closed. So in that situation, maybe he has forgotten or something comes in and she menstruated for the third time, then he don't have any opportunity from her. Maybe Dama, she is tired with him, and now he claims that she is not done with her period, and she claims that no, see, my husband, I'm done with my waiting period, so our marriage is over. So in this case, this is the resolution that we are going to have. So the core issue lies in whether the waiting period has truly expired, as Aisha claims, or if it remains ongoing, as Umar asserts. So, in this case, the resolution of conflicting claims is that in such cases, the judge may consider evidence from both sides and, if necessary, examine the plausibility of Aisha's claim based on her menstrual cycle and testimony. So, in this case, we are going to say that Aisha, in normal circumstance, how many days do you take maybe doing your menstrual cycle? So maybe she says 6 days or 5 days or 7, then we calculated when last did you had your menstrual cycle. She will say in so time. So after this time, we will calculate this month, second third month. And if it happens that it is very possible that her menstrual cycle is over, then Umar does not have any a claim over her that he must take her back. But in the situation whereby her claim cannot be certified, that it is nearly that she is lying, then the judge can send away her claim. But if, however, we cannot get this claim, then the outcome is going to be, if Aisha's statement is credible and no contrary evidence exists, her claim may be accepted, allowing her to remarry. So you can see, please, husband should not take that opportunity that I'm going to deal with her. I'm going to allow her until her waiting period is nearly over before I take her back. So this is Sunnah Devas, which is Talaq Sunni, which we have already discussed it in the introduction. That is the situation whereby you pronounce a single divorce during a period of purity. That is one. Second is sexual relations does not take place after the menstruation. Third, the period of purity is not preceded by a menstruation period that he divorced her in. That is third. So all these are conditions. If you want to divorce your wife, a sunnah divorce, that is talaq sunni, you have to follow this three conditions, and even the fourth one is the husband must then wait until the wife completes her waiting period before issuing any further divorce pronouncement. Maybe he wants to pronounce a second divorce to her because he found her doing something that he feels like, see, I cannot continue staying with you. So he is already angry. He wants to divorce her by all means. So in this case, when he wants to observe talaq sunni, when he issued the first divorce, following these conditions that we have stated, then he should not issue another divorce until he lets her have a menstrual cycle. Then immediately when she's done with that menstrual cycle, he issued another second divorce again. And if he wants to send another divorce, then maybe he feels like after 3 days or so, then he send the third one. This is what we call talaq sunni, but you should not say that I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you, or I divorce you 3 times, even though we consider this as binding, that if you divorce your wife 3 times in a sitting or in the same period, it is considered binding, and you don't have any chance in returning back your wife. So we have bid'ah divorce, which we have already explained. The first one is pronouncing 3 divorces at once, divorcing during a menstrual period, then divorcing during a period of purity in which sexual relations took place. So all these are bid'ah divorce, but when you issued any of this, the divorce is legally valid. So during the prophet period, Abdullah ibn Umar, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with him, divorced his wife while she was menstruating. When the prophet learned of this, he became angry and ordered Ibn Umar to take her back and wait until she was pure before issuing a proper divorce if she still wished to do so. This is reported in Sahih Bukhari. So when you divorce your wife in her menstrual period, you are going to be compelled to take her back. That is one, and keep her until she finishes her menstruation. That is not all. After completing her menstruation, then another menstruation period. So she have to complete that menstruation, observe a state of purity for that all days that she used to be pure, maybe 20 days or so, and observe or have another menstrual cycle, and let her to become pure before you can issue a divorce for her. So not it is not in the first when she is pure for the first time that you wish to send her another divorce, but you have to wait for the second purity before you can issue a divorce. So we have non-compulsion during purity between two menstruation states. What we are trying to say here is that this addresses cases where a husband divorces his wife while she is menstruating and is subsequently compelled to take her back in order to follow the proper procedure under Talaq Sunni guidelines. However, instead of observing the waiting period, he issues a second divorce immediately after menstruation ends during the purity period between her previous and next menstrual cycles, following his compelled return of her. Maybe he's angry. So this is talaq it is considered binding, and she cannot take her back if it is 3 divorce. You can see the details. Non-compulsion after menstrual divorce and purity period. Despite issuing the second divorce in a period of purity, Hamza is not required to take Layla back, as this divorce was issued outside the proper guidelines of Talaq Sunni. So, condition of divorce during purity after intimacy. For example, had Hamza issued this divorce after being intimate with Layla in the purity period, he will still not be compelled to take her back due to issuance being within a valid time frame. So it is just bid'ah. We don't want that to happen. But if you issued a divorce after you have a marital intimacy with your wife after her menstrual cycle, it is still valid, but we don't like that. Revocation of divorce. Uh, Scenario: Amina's husband Bilal divorces her using one pronouncement of divorce, and after expiration of the waiting period, she remarries, and her husband consummates the marriage. Bilal later returns and presents evidence that he had revoked the divorce before Amina's waiting period expiration. So this is a great case, and it happens. It happens. You can see Bilal has an evidence to show that he has already revoked the divorce during the waiting period. But Amina went and got married, claiming that she is not aware of that revocation of divorce. So, the validation of this second marriage remain if there is consummation, not just by contract. So if the second husband has consummated the marriage, even with the evidence of Bilal, that is the first husband, then he has lost this wife. But if the contract of the marriage was just made and there is no consummation, then care of this is very important. So case 40, obvious indirect diverse praises. We have some phrases we use in Arabic, which when you say them, it is directly a divorce. So I don't know what is wrong with today's network. So in this case, he used the word khaliyatun, you are free, bariyatun. Wow. He used the phrase you are free, bariyatun, you are dissociated, ba'inun, you are separated, battatun, you are irrevocably divorced, batlatun, you are absolutely divorced, haramun, you are unlawful to me, or habliki ala gharibiki, that your rope is on your own shoulders. So if the husband issued any form of this kind of divorce, if he issued any form of this kind of divorce, then it is going to be considered binding. We are going to work with this kind of divorce he issued, and we don't have any chance to say that this is. So these phrases are considered okay indirect. If the marriage has been consummated, these phrases are interpreted as three divorces, making the divorce final and irrevocable. So please don't use some kind of words that you know that they are automatically showing that this divorce is final. So you should try to use words that even if you are asked, then you have the chance to claim that, see, I don't mean to divorce my wife. So, but this kind of praises we use or we presented now, all are showing that you have separated from that marriage. So we have non-consummated marriage. A husband uses this kind of praises for a non-consummated marriage. The number of divorces depends on the husband's intention. So in this situation, we say, hey, Mr. Husband, what do you mean by saying that habluki ala gharibiki or anti haramun alayya, that you are prohibited from me anymore? So in this situation, it's similar to khul, where the husband's intention is solely considered regarding the number of divorces. But this is for the case of non-consummated marriage. But for the case of consummated marriage, we don't have to ask him, we consider it final. So we have exclusionary divorce, talaqul muhashat, where a husband says, unlawful is unlawful to me. Please understand this word. Unlawful is now unlawful to me, and he does not explicitly or implicitly exclude his wife. So in the situation whereby just a husband wakes up and said that all things that are lawful to me are now unlawful to me. So this statement is binding, and this husband is in soup. If a husband mistakenly said that unlawful are now unlawful to me, then that husband is in trouble. Because in the situation whereby he does not exempt his wife, then his wife is included and his wife is now divorced. So, let's take care of this. Approval of divorce issued by a third party. In cases where someone other than the husband, such as relative, or issues the divorce and the husband later approves this, then it is binding. Maybe your father is angry with your wife and he said, hey, Mr. Man, I have divorced your wife for you. Maybe you so much care for your father and you know that he is so much responsible that whichever kind of decision he takes is in your best, is in best kind of you. Then you said, I approve that divorce. Then your wife has already gone. She cannot do anything anymore. So this is that is the kind of divorce which is stated by a third party. So we are in case 44. Probable indirect praises, which is kinaya muhtamila. Kinaya muhtamila. A husband says to his wife, Izhabi, like Izhabi, go to your house. Igribi, go away. Ukhruji, depart. Instead, if you turn away, it take the go and start counting your waiting period. Ilhaqi bi ahliki, go and join your family. Okay, in this kind of praises, we are going to consider them as indirect praises. So we are going to say, hey, look, Mr. Husband, what do you mean by go and start counting your waiting period? What do you mean by go to your house? Maybe the moment he said that, we don't know what is what is in his mind, but he said that, oh, I mean that she should go to her family and have some rest. She should go and help her mother in doing some kind of activities. But in this kind of praises, he has the chance to claim that he don't mean a divorce, because this is an indirect form of praise or indirect form of divorce. But however, if he claims that I mean divorce, then this is going to be binding, and we don't have any option. But this marriage is considered binding, and the wife is now divorced. So now, response to a wife's request for divorce. Okay, now when a wife requests a divorce and the husband responds with a kind of praise or an indicative gesture, such as nodding his head, you went to your husband, hey, Mr. Man, I cannot continue staying with you. Divorce me. Did you divorce me? Then he nods his head like this. He did not say either yes or no, but he divorces he nods his head like this. So this response is binding. If it conveys intent for divorce, maybe the kind of nodding he shows or the kind of response he shows, which is indirect, it is just a gesture, we are going to consider it as binding. So this marriage is normal. So I don't know if you have any question. We only have around 5 minutes remaining. If there is any question, we are going to entertain the question. And if there is no any, we are going to Malama Yasmin, I'm back.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
Alaikum assalam.
Um, I Good evening, Ustad. I have a question pertaining to what you said about the waiting period for a woman. I think it was a question some days ago on the platform where a woman sees her period only once a year. So the
Yes.
waiting period would be that's 3 years. So my question is the rationale behind that because I know that the waiting period is supposed to rule out pregnancy. One of the
Yes.
so a pregnancy typically lasts for 9 to 10 months. So even if she has her period only once a year, after 9 to 10 months, there's no way she can have a baby in her womb for more than 10 months. So doesn't that automatically rule out pregnancy? Does she have to wait for 3 years? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. You see, I just asked another question yesterday about the maximum like years of pregnancy. Pregnancy can reach up to 4 years. It can reach up to 4 years, even though many feel the question I did not yet answer the question. But what we need to understand is that when you are talking about waiting period, we used to consider the menstrual cycle. We used to consider the menstrual cycle. The cases whereby we are not considering the menstrual cycle is the situation whereby the lady has not yet started menstruating or she have reached to the state of menopause whereby she is not menstruating anymore. So pregnancy can stay for 4 years. That is the maximum distance of the pregnancy. So in this case, she has to wait for 3 menstrual cycles. And please let you not hear the distance like this somehow. Even though we have doctors in the platform, I don't know if they have any input on this. But Islamically, we consider pregnancy as is 4 years. Yes, Malama Yasmin.
Okay. Okay. The 4 years. Is it is sorry. Sorry. Is Islamically or medically? Because I am a medical doctor.
It's just subhanallah. So I don't know if you have that medically. Maybe you are going to discuss that. But as far as Islam
Yeah.
is concerned, is
Islam
we
is
have it for four
concerned.
years. So Dr.
Okay.
Sani, I don't know, Dr. Sani, if you can say anything about this. I don't know if you know it from your own. So maybe Dr. Yasmin, we are going to discuss about it. Inshallah. Malama Badia.
Okay.
I thought Islamically pregnancy is considered 1 year to last for 1 year, not 4 years.
Okay, based on what we read, is 4 years and not 1 year. So, like what we are saying, like a woman can be pregnant up to 4 years without delivering the baby. So, when she reaches 4 years and the baby is not delivered, then we will consider her pregnancy is not real. So, we don't know how this can be supportive by with medical guidelines, but inshallah, we are going to discuss with Dr. Yasmin and other professionals so that we can prove that. And I'm going to check on the reasons whereby, as far as Islamic law is concerned, that they provided it to be 4 years as the maximum duration of pregnancy. So I'm going to confirm that, inshallah. So anyone, so do we have any question? So since we don't have question and it is already 10, please let's try to be responding to the questions we are solving, we are sending in the group, and inshallah, so that whenever you miss a question, you get to know the correction. And in most cases, I may answer a question and you may likely to contradict the or argue with me because I must not answer it correctly. I can get back and make a research on that. So if you have any contradictory answer, you can inshallah provide it in the group. This we say subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayka. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.